The Alpha's Rejected One. Episode 10. Lucas. Willow was exhausted by the time everything had settled down. I knew of Cole's request to speak out against Lucas. Tyler knew he had to retrieve him. Lucas was trying to paint it as if Willow was a disobedient member, and that's why she received the punishment. They could tell he was lying through his teeth, but I wasn't having them think differently about Willow. Under no circumstances does anyone deserve to be collared and whipped. His cool demeanor, like he was the one wronged, made my beast rage within. He wanted his blood. Keeping control was somewhat complicated, seeing as he was already on the rampage when they asked about her scars, and feeling how disgusted she thought of herself caused him to see red. The look on Lucas's face when Cole was brought in, he knew he was done. He attacked Cole even though he was cuffed as well as Cole. He couldn't handle the words Cole spoke. The guard got them separated. Lucas had bit Cole on his arm in his attempted attack. I do not know what he was aiming to accomplish. All he got was thrown back in his cell. Elder Lance had called the hearing to an end, saying they would have his punishment ready to announce tomorrow, that they had heard enough. I think watching Lucas go after Cole sealed his fate. Mom had said dinner was served. I could see it on Willow's face. She was done for the day. All the stress and emotions had crashed down on her. She held a far-off look in her eyes. You could see she was replaying the events of the day. Come here, little one. Bending down, I scooped her up. Lincoln, she gasped out, throwing her arms around my neck. I can walk, she said as she laid her head on my shoulder. Hey, you can barely pick your feet up now, placing a kiss on her head. Relax, I got you. She made a humming noise but snuggled her face in my neck. Feeling her body go limp halfway up to the room, I knew she had fallen asleep. Tyler had moved to walk in front of us when we reached the door. He opened it, holding it for me. Stepping through, you can retire for the night. We will be staying in for the rest of the evening, but be here by 6. With a yes, sir, and nod, he closed the door behind him. Walking over to the bed, I gently lay her down. She stirs a bit but doesn't wake up. Going to the bathroom, I start the water in the tub. I know she is tired and probably will not want to get up, but a good soak will help her right now. Grabbing the different bath salts and dumping some in, I let it fill. Turning it off, I go back out, seeing she is still asleep. Laying down next to her, I run my fingers down her cheeks. Wake up, little one, I whisper in her ear. Her face scrunches up. She turns on her side, facing me, rubbing her nose against my chest. I chuckle at her sweetness. Come on, Willow, I need you to wake up. Placing kisses on her forehead, down her cheek, on her jaw, then on her lips, she let out a small moan, shuffling closer to me. Wakey, wakey, my sweet little mate, I murmur in her ear again. I don't want to. Her sweet voice is all muffled by her pressing against my shirt. Come, let's get you in a bath. The warm water will help you. I pull back, sliding her with me. She lets out a groan. She sticks her bottom lip out, pouting. I can't help but lean down and suck on her lip. Hey, she pulls back, her eyes now open. That wasn't for you to suck on. Laughing, I get close again. Well, then you should stick things out that you wish not to have sucked on. She blushes, and I can't help but chuckle at her shyness. Even though I have seen her full and we have had sex a few times, she is still so innocent, and I love it, Lincoln. She swats my chest. Pecking her quickly on her lips, I pull her again. Come on you. Getting up, she let me lead her into the bathroom. She smiles at me when she sees the tub full of water. You can smell the bath salts I put in there. Did you do this for me? She asked as she ran her hand in the water. Walking up to her, placing a kiss on her shoulder, I slide the straps to her dress off. Yes, I did. I know it has been a hard day for you, so I thought you could use a good warm bath. Letting the dress fall to the floor, she steps out of it. I bent down to pick it up, kissing her hip. When I went to stand back up, I could hear her breath hitch. Let me help you in. I held her hand as she stepped in, slowly sinking in the water and letting out a sigh when she was in. Tossing the dress in the bin, I sit on the tub's edge. Grabbing the cloth and soap, I poured some soap, lathered it up, reached out to her shoulder. Lincoln. It's okay, relax. Let me wash you. She grabbed my wrist, looking up at me. What's wrong? She bit her lip. Would you mind getting in with me? Standing up, I started to pull my clothes off. If my little one wanted me in there with her, then that was what she would get. Milo. There you go. I sat the last bags on the counter, turning to face Mrs. Willis. She was in her 60s. Her mate had died a few years ago. She is a stubborn one. I happened to be walking by heading to the training field when I spotted her trying to carry bags of food into her house. Thank you, Milo. She patted my cheek as she stopped next to me. You're welcome. Do you need anything else? No, thank you. You are a sweet young man, she says as she pulls packages out. I froze momentarily at hearing her words, knowing I wasn't always like this. I was a complete jerk, a selfish prick who only thought of himself. Shaking my head, all right, well then, I'll head out, Mrs. Willis. She waves, wishing me goodbye as I walk out her door, making my way the rest of the way to the training field. I see the class has begun. Milo. I hear Ronnie call my name, jogging over to him. Since Mom introduced us to Ronnie and discovered he was our true father, I have taken the time to get to know him. He is really a good guy. Sure, he and my mom went behind Luca's back, but I can understand they were fated mates. He waited for her all this time. Hey, Ronnie, I say as I stop before him. I haven't reached the point to call him Dad yet. That wound is still fresh from what Lucas said. I wasn't ready to cross that bridge, and Ronnie understood. He told me whenever I was ready. Sorry, I came across Mrs. Willis trying to carry a load of bags in her house by herself, so I quickly helped her, shaking his head side to side. That woman, I swear. He stops for a moment. Well, I can't hold it against you for being late, seeing as you were helping a pack member fall in line. There are still 10 laps to go to finish warming up. Ronnie was a top warrior here. I joined the train a few days after I got here. I have held to my word of wanting to change. I help Ronnie when he needs it, and I have begun to help around the pack, doing different work. They run the pack so differently here than Lucas did. I like it. If he ran it like this, I may have never done the things I did. I have even reached out to Ashlyn, and she is coming this weekend. We still have much to discuss. I like my life here. I like how everything is here. I want to stay here, and I want her to as well. I think it would be better for us. I have wronged her in all of this. She has done some things that wasn't suitable, but she sounded different on the phone. We have been talking since the third day here. She told me about the new alpha that took over the pack and how he has made some changes there. She also wants to see Caitlin, even though I am not sure how that will go. Caitlin has had a more challenging time adjusting than I have. She don't like the rules or having to help out around the house or pack. I take my place falling in line following the others. Willow. Alpha Lucas, with the evidence shown to us, it is clear that you are guilty of the crimes against you. Not only that, abusing a pack member till she was on the edge of death, as well as the state you put the whole pack in by almost bankrupting the pack. You as an alpha are responsible for the safety of your pack and all its members. You are to care for the pack, not use it for your gain or enjoyment. Also, you are being charged with the murder of Alpha Lame and his Luna Cass Winters. You engaged in an unlawful attack for your personal beliefs, so therefore your punishment, you will be stripped of your alpha title and will be executed by beheading. Elder Lance spoke. Lucas growled as he spoke. He struggled against the cuffs and chains they had on him, his eye darting to me. The execution will take place at noon tomorrow. Lucas tried jumping up but was pushed back down by the guards. I, Elder Lance Raider, put forth the right to remove Alpha Lucas Hudson from his position as Alpha. All in favor. The rest raised their hands, followed by an I. Let it be known, starting now. You are no longer an Alpha, you are being demoted to that of an Omega and will die with that ranking. Lucas shook in his spot, growling as his title was taken from him. To hell with all of you. He spat at them. Guards, remove him. Place him back in his cell where he will stay till his time tomorrow. The guards gripped him by the arms, pulling him to his feet. He tried shaking them off. Let go of me. You piece of shit. His eyes darted to me as they began to drag him away. I should have killed you that night, you ungrateful little piece. I took you in and gave you a pack I offered you so much, and this is how you repay me. You nothing more than a whore like your mother. Rage filled me. My hands shook. I felt my leakin clawing in my head. Stop. I called to the guards. Little one, what are you? Lincoln stopped when I glanced at him. Standing, I began to walk toward where the guards were holding Lucas. Lincoln was right behind me, and I could see my family's eyes on me as I passed them. I could feel my power as it rippled through my body. I wasn't in complete control of myself, his eyes watching as I got closer to him. I could see him smiling as I stopped to stand in front of him, just couldn't let them drag me out. Hey! His voice made my skin crawl. I usually would not have this much confidence, but hearing him speak of my mother that way made my Leakin angry, and we wanted to show him he does not affect us anymore. Leaning closer to him, his eyes were all but twinkling. Why would I take the offer of someone as little as you? You were nothing more than an alpha. What would I have gained from you and the pathetic little amount of power you held? When here, I am treated like a princess, and my mate holds more power than you ever will. Not only that, but he can satisfy me better than you could ever imagine. I let out a soft moan to rub it in even more. I had no idea where all this was coming from. You little peesh! I didn't let him finish when I punched him right in the mouth. His head snapped back as blood instantly started to trickle down his chin. There were gasps heard. No one was expecting me to do that. Gripping his shoulder, I brought my knee up to his groin. He let out a half whimper, half yelp, as he folded over, "That is for my mother." I turned, walking away from him. I took my seat back. The guards continued to drag him out as he screamed, trying to hold his groin, but with the cuffs and chains on him he couldn't. "Lincoln kissed my temple. Feel better?" he asked, nodding my head. I clasped my hands together, setting them on my lap. Letting the rush of what I did settle down, someone cleared their throat. Well, that was interesting, to say the least. "Ms. Willow, you have completely taken me by surprise, but I do not blame you for what you just did," Elder Lance said from the front of the room. "Now, King Winston, Prince Lincoln, for the beheading, is there someone you will want to assign this job to? Or would one of you prefer to hand it?" "If I may," River's voice was heard as he stepped forward, "I would like to volunteer myself." My eyes snapped to look at him. Why would River offer to do that? My eye went back and forth between them two. Lincoln looked at him. I know they were linking each other, with a nod from Lincoln. "Very well, Beta River, you will carry out Lucas' state of execution," Elder Lance spoke out. The hearing was over, and everyone exited the room. I wanted to ask River why, but he managed to get out the door before me. "It's kinda stuffy in here today. Would you guys want to go out back for some fresh air with me?" Heather asked as we walked down the hall, looking at Lincoln. "I have some work to do with Dad." "Tyler will go with you guys if you want to go on out." "I am for it, Mia." I asked her, "I think it a good idea. It is rather stuffy in here. You girls, go on out. I will have someone bring out some snacks and drinks. After the last 2 days, some fresh air will be good for you," Hazel chimed in as she hurried towards the kitchen. Reaching the end of the hall, "Remember, stay with Tyler." Lincoln kissed my forehead, then turned to walk with his dad and River. Once again, River got away before I could ask him. He knew I was going to talk to him about it. I know him well enough now. We made our way out back, sitting down at the table. I did not realize how tensed and suffocating it felt in there till we reached outside. It felt as if a huge weight was lifted off my chest. Mia," I called her. Her head turned to look at me. Why would River do that? Heather looked at her as well. He said he felt it was his place. I frowned. His place. Her head bobbed. "Do you remember when he and Lincoln did that job where they drew Lucas's men out? I remember they had been gone the one day all day, and River came back, and he was acting off, but I didn't know the details. I don't recall the whole thing, but I remember River had been off about something. Well, that day, they fought a group of men sent by Lucas. They attacked Lincoln and River, and they were all killed in the end, but instead of men, it was a bunch of teenagers. Lucas sent them to be slaughtered. River has not forgotten that, and I think this is his way to let it go, it to end the life of the person who sent them to their deaths at such a young age. River is like that. He hates the thought of any child being hurt, even if it is a teenager," Heather said as she looked off into the distance like she was thinking about something. An Omega brought out snacks and drinks. We sat there munching and talking. I would peek over my shoulder making sure Tyler was still there. I wasn't sure how long we had sat there when Tyler came rushing over. "We must get inside now." "Tyler, what's going on?" "No time to explain, please let's go." He ushered us towards the door, but growls stopped us as 4 wolves jumped in front of us. Tyler stepped in front of us. "You girls make a run for it." I will hold them off. I will catch up to you." His eyes landed on Heather, for a split second. "Now." He lunged at the wolves as we took off. The sound of fighting was heard as we ran. Heather was leading. She was taking us away from the pack house. "Heather, where are we going?" Mia asked her. "The patrol building. We can lock the doors. They are reinforced so that we will be safe there." Just as we reached the building, we got cut off again. "Mia and Heather can't shift, but I can. I know Lincoln didn't want me to show my powers, but I can't let these wolves hurt them." Focusing, I felt the wind start to pick up. "When I say go, you two run to the building and get inside." "What?" "No, Willow, we go together," Heather said as she stepped up next to me. "No, Heather, you two can't shift." "I can. I don't need to shift to take down a mere werewolf," Heather spat out. "I know, Heather, but please, I did get to finish." The wolves in front of us lunged at us, and the next thing I knew, I had shifted and was fighting to protect my friends. Lincoln. Rogues. I heard through the link. All three of us rushed out of the office. "Tyler, get the girls inside now." I called him through the link, already working on it. I heard it through the link. Running out the front door, we could hear the fighting. They were about 20 feet from the front of the house as we came out, and a second group came from the left. Shifting, I ran straight to the fight. As Lincoln, we are bigger and stronger than the rogues. These wolves are swanny. They stank of rot. Their fur was matted and dirty, taking out of the one group within a few minutes. Spinning around, I saw River and my dad fighting through the second group. It wasn't really a fight, seeing as they were no match for us. This attack was utterly pointless. They should have known they would not have won. Dad had pinned one rogue down. I saw a wolf trying to sneak up behind Dad. Dad behind. The wolf lunged as I took off. I didn't get to finishing warning him, but just as the wolf was about to reach Dad, a Lincoln tackled it to the ground. "Mom!" I called out through the link, rushing over, but she had snapped his neck before I got there. She dropped the dead wolf and walked back over. She stood by my father. I walked up to them. Dad was still holding down. "Shift," I ordered him. He struggled at first. I said shift. I let my Lincoln come forward just a bit so he would feel my authority. With a whimper, he shifts back to a skinny man. Dad continues to keep a hold of him. "Why did you attack? Who sent you?" Shaking his head, he growled. Dad clamped his claws around his neck, squeezing just a bit. Okay, he whizzed out. "I don't know who, but all we were told is if we did, we would get rewarded." "Rewarded? What was the reward?" "They didn't tell us, and you went along with it, not knowing what you would be getting? Do you really think we are that dumb?" His wide eyes looked up at me as Dad growled, snapping his jaw at him. "Money, that's all I know. They never said how much, just that we would get paid." He all but screamed. "Who told you they would pay you?" "I don't know who he is. I know he's tall, with dark hair and brown eyes. He had a woman with him this time. It is the first he had shown up with someone. That must be the so-called Rogue King, as he calls himself." Just then, extra warriors and guards warriors came running towards us. Dad shifted, picking the man up and throwing him at them. "Lock him up," he ordered them. they grabbed him, dragging him away. Sir! Cater came jogging over, there was no more. There was another group that broke through on the far side, but they were stopped before reaching here. Anyone hurt? Dad asked him as he slipped on a pair of shorts. None of ours, but all the Rouges that crossed over are dead. I have warrior checking the territory as we speak, making sure we didn't miss any. Good, we will have to move on this rogue king. If he is starting to attack, he is looking for our weak spot. I agree. I was cut off when Mia came stumbling into the front yard. River rushed over Shift as he reached her. She was covered in blood. Her clothing was ripped as shreds hung off her. Falling forward, River caught her around the waist. He sat down, pulled her to him. Mia, what happened? Where are Heather and Willow? He asked as he brushed the hair away from her face. Mom appeared holding a blanket. She covered Mia. I scanned the yard, but Willow nor Heather was there, just Mia. They took them, kneeling next to her. Who took them? Her wide eyes moved to look at me. She shifted to protect us. Small sobs left her. Her hands clutched River's forearms. Mia, honey, slow down. Mom touched her cheek as she rubbed her shoulder. Did Willow shift? I asked her, just as Elder Lance came to stand in front of us. Mia broke down more, her body shook. If I may, Elder Lance spoke up. I can help. Looking up at him, I squinted my eyes. How? He moved, kneeling in front of Mia and River, and held out his hand. May I? River growled at him. I mean no harm. Young man, I won't hurt her. I need to touch her and tell you what happened. She clearly is too upset to talk. River looked at me, turning my head to look at Elder Lance. I will explain afterward, but right now, your mate and another pack member are missing. Nodding my head at River, let him try. River pulled one of Mia's hands out from under the blanket, placing it in Elder Lance's hand. He laid his other hand on top of hers, closing his eyes. Mia's body stiffened but then relaxed as he held her hand. Then he suddenly let go as he stood up. He looked at us, his eye darting back and forth between us all. Rogues took your mate and the young lady. They got separated from the guard and were cornered by another group. He was interrupted by a growl as I spotted Tyler in Leakin form charging at us. Dad stepped in front of him. Stand down, Tyler. Tyler stopped in his tracks but kept letting out a low growl as he stared at Elder Lance. You are the guard they got separated from. Elder Lance pointed at Tyler. Looking at him now, I saw the blood stain on the side of his head. He had an open gash on the side of his head halfway across his forehead. I want to know what happened. If Willow was taken, why didn't I feel it through the bond? Tyler shifted back. He was all bloody with scratches all over, and that cut looked worse in his human form. We got cut off. I linked Heather to run to the patrol building. They could go to the front as I heard fighting coming from that way. The patrol building was the best and safety place as they could lock themselves in there. Why did you get separated? I was fighting the group that stopped us from getting in the house, but someone hit me in the head with something. It knocked me out for a while, and no one was there when I came to. I tracked Heather's scent, but all I found was blood and Mia's scent leading me this way, Tyler explained. I can fill in the rest, Elder Lance said as he glanced from Tyler to me. Nodding at him, I was beginning to lose my patience. They got cut off from the patrol building. Willow shifted to protect them, but they jumped before Mia and Heather could run. Heather joined the fight but more rogues showed up. Mia here was attacked. Willow killed them, giving Mia a chance to run, but then a man showed up, shooting a dart into Willow and Heather, knocking them unconscious. My beast surged forward, causing me to shift. Our mate was taken again, and we knew nothing. Dad Leakin was on me before I could even move. Calm down, son. She was taken, Dad, and I didn't know. I yelled back as I struggled to get free from him. Just then, Carter grabbed onto me, helping Dad pin me down. You didn't feel it because she blocked it. She is strong with great power, power she does not know she has yet. Elder Lance's voice popped into my head. I stilled at his words. How was he able to link me? Shift back. Dad's voice came next. I couldn't go against his order even if I wanted to. He is still the king and my alpha. My body slowly shifts back. Dad and Carter let go as I dropped to my knees, breathing heavily. How did you link me? I asked, looking up at him. Everyone was looking at me. Who linked you? Dad asked as he stood there. Him. I pointed to the elder, who stood there looking down at me. Well, it is one of my gifts, that among others that I have, you have gifts. I asked as I stood up to face him. Yes, how? Well, that is simple. I am a white Leakin, just like your mate, and like me your mate is very powerful. Willow. The sound of a door slamming startled me awake. Jerking up in a sitting position but then instantly regretting it. I clutched my head as the pounding felt like someone was playing the drums in there. Blinking a few times, my eyes finally adjusted. I was in a dim cell, looking around and trying to figure out where I was. There was nothing in here. The only thing was the tiny bed I was in. Swinging my legs over, I tried to stand but felt dizzy when I stood up. Sitting back down, I held my head. Willow. I heard someone call my name. Looking around, I saw Heather. Oh my God! I scurried off the bed, not worrying about the pain in my head when my eyes landed on her. She was bloody. You could already see the bruises on her face. Both her lips were busted, her one eye swollen, reaching the bar that separated us. Heather, oh God! I touched her cheek. She cringed in pain but laid her forehead against the bars. She reached through with her hand, taking it in mine. What happened? I remember the rogues and shifting. Then wolves attacked Mia. At the thought of her, my head started to whip around. She not here? I guess they didn't take her. Looking back at her, what? They only took us. I woke up a little bit ago and heard them talking. They left her so she could relay the message about us. Message? What message? What do they want? I don't know. I know they are rogues, but that's about it. She shifted slightly, wincing. God, Heather, what did they do to you? Oh, you think this is bad? You should see the others. She tried laughing but stopped as she held her stomach. That's not funny, Heather. Sorry, I know. I am just trying to lighten the mood. They didn't do anything to me here. This is all from the fight, Heather. I told you to run. Her head shook. I will never run from a fight, not when the people I love are in danger. She sounded like River. She was so much like him in so many ways. But Heather, look at you. You can't shift. That's why I wanted to protect you. Now look at you. Your beautiful face is full of blood and cuts and bruises. Heather, you are too young to look like this. I will heal, no worries. I am just slower than River, seeing as I haven't shifted yet. My head pounded even harder, making me shut my eyes for a minute. What did they do to us? They hit us with some sort of tranquilizer. Just then, we heard footsteps. They got louder as they got closer. A man appeared at the cell door. He was tall, well-built, with dark brown hair, almost black, with brown eyes. Ah, you are awake, that's good. I was beginning to worry. I thought maybe I hit you with too strong of a dose. I felt my Luccan stir, but she couldn't come forward. Clutching my head again as pain ripped through it. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. You won't be able to summon your Luccan. I gave you a suppressant. I don't need you shifting and killing me and my men now, can I? What do you want? Your voice is nicer than she said it would be. What are you talking about? Who said that? I do not even know who you are or why you took us. Where are my manners? I am sorry. I forgot you are new to the area and haven't been properly introduced. I am the Rogue King, but you may call me my love or sweetness. Any nickname you wish, I will never. I have a mate. I could feel my Luccan, but it was a weak connection. Oh yes, the weakling prince. I'm not worried about that little boy. He is of no threat to me, and soon he will reach his end. You have no power compared to him. You will not beat him. See there, you are wrong. I have you, and that is all the power I will need. Mates are a curse, a way to defeat your enemies and give you a weak opening. You see, I wasn't planning on taking you so soon. I actually only wanted to take that little Spitfire over there, but when the opportunity presented itself, I knew I had to act and be quick about it. I will admit it was poorly done, but I got both of you. Two birds with one stone, he waved his hand. The cell door clicked as he slid it open, stepping in. The door closed the moment he was in the cell. Walking over, he kneeled in front of me, pushing my back against the bars. He reached out like he was going to touch my face. Turning my head away from him, I did want him to touch me. Chuckling at me, I felt his finger on my cheek. Slapping his hand away, he let out a growl, grabbing my throat and pulling my face right to his. You will learn to obey me. I will let you slide this once, but do not ever try that again, or you will regret it. He was cutting off my air. He squeezed a little more as he was getting his point across. They let me go harshly as I fell back against the bars. Now, I have some business to deal with. I will be back later to fetch you. You better be ready to obey and listen. This is my house, and what I say goes. Standing back up, his eye moved over to Heather. And you, I have plans for you as soon as your face heals. She wasn't wrong when she said you would be hard to take. I do admire a fighter. I prefer it when women fight against me. I love to tame them. Heather spits at him. Piss off. You couldn't even handle us. You had to drug us to get us here. You are nothing more than a coward who thinks he has bog balls when, in fact, you only have marbles. His eyes glowed red. You best learn to watch that mouth of yours, or what? You will beat me up again. Well, have at it, cause you do not scare me. He went to step forward to grab me, but someone started yelling, and they were getting closer. That freaking moron Rogue. How could he do that? We were to wait till the elders left before making a move. He could have cost us the whole thing. He didn't even let me leave. We made a deal, and now he got what he wanted, and I still wasn't able to leave. Now I am stuck in the same house as that pathetic little girl, and that little peesh sister. I stormed into his office, but he wasn't there. Looking at the man sitting there, where is he? I growled at him, the king is currently busy. Would you like to leave a message for him? His arrogant attitude instantly pissed me off. Do I look as if I want to leave a freaking message? No. I want to know where he is, and I want to know right now. Look here. If you do not wish to leave a message, then piss off. He went back to whatever he was doing, scoffing at him. I spun around and walked out. Where could he be? Ah, I bet he is in the cells, seeing as it has been only a few hours since he took them. Making my way down there, I was stopped. You can't go in there. King's orders. Don't you know who I am? He shook his head as he looked at me. I am the king's woman. I am the one who fills his bed at night. I am the one he kidnaps those girls for as they caused me harm. Would you like me to tell him that you refused to let me go to him? I can always tell him. You forcefully manhandled me. I watched as he paled. His Adam's apple bobbed. No, please don't. Here. He stepped aside. I smiled as I walked past him. He is just down that hall. He pointed but kept a reasonable distance from me. Afraid of what would happen, I smiled to myself, knowing I pulled one over his head. His men were really stupid. Not waiting, I took off walking down that hall. When I got close enough, I could hear them. It was Heather's voice. I'm not scared of you. She always had a mouth on her. Well, if he isn't letting me leave, then I will play this in my favor. Spinning on my heels, I marched back out to the guard. He gave me a look of confusion. He started to speak. How could you let me? By this instant, do you know who I am? I yelled at him. He stepped back, not expecting that. He held his hands up. I will go down here if I want. Turning from him, I stomped my feet, walking down the hall till I came in view to them. The look on her face was perfect. I smiled sweetly. When he turned to look at me, his eyes held rage. Oh, I know I am in for it, but this was so worth it. I have been looking for you, lover. Lincoln. We had moved to Dad's office, not wanting to let others hear our conversation. I did not know what to say when he claimed to be a white Lincoln like Willow, and the fact he knew she was made me nervous. The way he could see what Mia saw just by touching her hand was something in itself. Would Willow be able to do that? Does she have other powers we haven't seen? I know little to nothing about it. Dad has also researched and reached out to others, hoping that someone could give us an insight into them. Stop. There hasn't been a white Lincoln in centuries, so information about them is minimal. I know one thing, if Willow has other powers, she will need much more training. She is already struggling with what she has now. I'm worried that if she had any more to handle, it would overload her mentally and physically. She works so hard now, I can see the wheels turning, young prince. Just ask. Elder Lance spoke out, snapping me out of my thoughts. He had been sitting across from me at the table that held all our maps and plans for the attack on the rogue territory. I had been trying to link Willow, but nothing. I did however get a rush of emotions a while ago. I know they are not mine but hers. Even though it was fear and made my beast growl, it also gave me relief to know she was alive. Glancing at Dad quickly, then back to him, how did you know? I sensed it. Well, her power. We give off an aura that others like us can pick up on. I frowned as my brows scrunched together. He must have read my face. She wasn't able to because I had masked mine. I have learned to hide what I am from others, change my scent so no one can pick up on it. Why? Letting out a sigh, he leans back in his chair. Some may think us as being dangerous. Some wish to take the powers we were born with. Others seek to control the power by controlling us. White lichens have been hunted and slaughtered for any reason, all because we are different. I learned this at a young age. I have done things I am not proud of and wish I could take back. I had not encountered another white lichen in a long time until Willow. Like Willow, I was also gifted my lichen, but unlike Willow, I did not have people around me to help me, and I did not know how much danger I was in just being what I was. Therefore, I was misled. When I learned what I could, I needed to protect myself, so I changed my scent to keep my secret. Only certain members of the council know about me. Will she have the same powers as you? He shook his head. No, we are given different powers. I primarily sense elementary powers from Willow. Then, when she was able to calm you that day, she also possesses mind control. I went to say something when a piercing pain in my head caused me to fall forward, clutching my head. Lincoln. Mom was next to me as Dad grabbed my wrist, lifting my head. The pain was so intense my vision blurred. It felt like my head was in a vice. I couldn't breathe. My heartbeat was thumping in my ears, but then there was a flash of bars and stone walls. It was dim and damp looking. Then Heather's face appeared. She was bloody and bruised, leaning against a set of bars. Then, a man's face, his eyes glowing red as his face held an angry look as he pinched his lips in a thin line. Just as fast as it came, it was gone. Sucking in a much-needed deep breath, my vision cleared as my dad's face came into view. Letting my hands drop, I fall backward against the chair. Lincoln, what the hell happened? Dad's voice held concern. I could feel Mom's hands on my shoulders, swallowing. I'm not sure, I think. I stopped as I rubbed my forehead, not sure how to explain what I saw. It was flashes. I saw a cell, and then Heather and a man was there. Heather. River spoke as he stepped closer, hearing his sister's name. Tyler took a step forward as well, a look of concern on his face. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I can. Elder Lance stepped closer. Willow was projecting images to you. It's what she was seeing at that time. Scrunching my forehead. I didn't know that was possible. Well, it usually is not, but you are mated to a white lichen, and I would say that is another power. She can share things with you, which will help you find her. If she can link to you, it will lead you right to her. Most mates, the bond and marking one another always gives you that draw to one another. You can track each other more easily, but she can mentally link to you like she did. It will guide you right to her. Lincoln, I heard River call me. His voice was low, looking at him. His head was down. What about Heather? I could hear it in his voice. He was worried about her, and the thought of losing her was hurting him. He had raised her. She is his only family. He has always protected her and kept her away from harm. I was not sure if I should tell him the truth. Someone had done a number on her. I know he won't like hearing it, but I also know I can't lie to him. She was in a cell. I tailed off. I know once I say these following words, it will send him over the edge first. His mates turn up beaten, and now I am about to tell him his sister is in the same shape. She looks a little rough but alive. Rough? Like dirty, her hair messed up type of rough. Shaking my head, no, not that. She had a bloody face and a swollen eye kinda rough. River just stood there looking at me. I could see his eyes changing colors as his beast was trying to come forward, but then Tyler let out a roar. Shifting to his Leakin, Carter and Dad moved to restrain Carter as he started to rip apart whatever was in front of him. Elder Lance was right in front of him. His hand came up, touching Tyler's forehead. Tyler stilled his growling, stopped as he quit struggling in their hold, his body going limp as he changed back into his human form. They helped Tyler sit on the floor. His hands held his head as he propped his elbows on his knees, looking at River. He was still in the same spot. Riv, I called him, his eyes moving to meet mine. You okay? How bad? He asked. I know what he was asking. Not super bad, I won't lie. She took a beating, but she wasn't hanging on by a thread. He closed his eyes, swallowing. He then turned to look down at Tyler, which was a sight. Tyler wasn't exactly a tiny person to sit on the floor. His massive frame looked awkward down there. You, River pointed at him. As Tyler raised his head, River walked over, standing in front of him. I suggest you get together. I understand she is your mate, but she is my sister, so pull yourself together. We need to get them all back safely, and flipping out and to shift like that won't help get her back. Tyler blinked at him. How did I know? River cut him off. She is my sister. I know her better than she knows herself, and it's not hard to figure out. You give no one attention, but your eyes always follow her. At River's words, Tyler got up. His face hardened as he stood at his full height, turning back to me. So, are we going to sit here all day, or are we going to get your mate and my crazy sister back? Getting up, I moved toward him. Ready when you are. We started towards the door. Wait, we are coming with you, Dad, Carter, and Elder Lance all walked over. This isn't the plan we had, I told them. We were going to take a group of warriors and attack. Plans change, Dad says as Mom walks up, placing a kiss on his cheek, then walking to me. You be careful and bring them back. With that, we all left. Reaching outside, we shifted, taking off. Hang on little one, I am coming. Willow. As soon I saw her, the man spun around, letting out a growl, gripping her by the arm and dragging her out. Even though she was protesting, so they were right. She is hiding out here, Heather says as she shifts again, her face scrunching up a bit, turning to face her. We need to get out of here, I whisper to her. She glances over at me. I am not sure how. We do not even know where we are in the rogue territory. My Leakin stirred, and I could feel her more. I swear, I thought I heard her growl when Holly walked in. I know he said he gave me something to keep me from mind linking and keep me weak. A small pain starts in my head, rubbing my temple, feeling that pain become more, causing a gasp to leave me. Willow, what's wrong? Heather calls my name. I look at her, but I can't see her that well, as my vision is becoming blurry, shutting my eyes, leaning my upper body over, laying my head against my knees, holding my hands on the back of my head. Images started to flash. They were all jumbled together in one. I felt like I was watching it happen, as if looking through a window. I was the most odd feeling ever. The images seemed to stay together like they were put in a bubble, and Lincoln's face showed just past them. Just as soon as his face appeared, the swirl of images moved towards him, and with a flash of light, it was all gone. My head snapped up, sucking in a breath. Taking in deep breaths as I looked around, my vision cleared, and the pain was gone. What the hell was that, Willow? I felt Heather's hand on my shoulder. Looking over at her, I said, "Are you okay?" Nodding my head, I leaned it back against the bars. I heard footsteps again just as the man from before came in. He squinted his eyes at me as he looked down. "Sorry for the interruption. That will not happen again. Now, shall we pick up from before?" He rubbed his hands together. This time, I knew I heard my Luccan growl. I could feel her trying to surge forward. I pushed her back as it wasn't the time. Like I said before, I have some business to handle, and when I am done, I'll be back for you. He reached down, trailing a finger down my cheek. I wanted to slap his hand away again, but I needed him to leave. A smile broke out on his face. "Good, you are a fast learner." Gripping my chin with his thumb and finger, he tilted my head up. "You won't be so hard to break after all." Leaning forward, he ran his tongue over my lips. Bile rose in my stomach. I pressed my lips tighter together. He pulled back, letting go of my face, and stood up, smirking. Backing up till he reached the door, his eyes moved to Heather. "There will be someone coming down to treat you. Can't have you full of marks and scars." Heather flips him the finger as she lets out a growl. "Always so feisty? God, I wish I could keep you. I would love to tame you. I do love a challenge." His eyes moved back to me. "As for you, my little pet, I will be back shortly. Don't go nowhere." He chuckled as he stepped out, shutting the cell door. "Such a pig," Heather spits out as she moves to try and stand up. Doing the same, I got to my feet, surprised at how my body wasn't feeling weak. When I first woke, I was dizzy and lightheaded. My whole body ached. Looking at Heather, she was standing but not without feeling any pain. She held on to the bars for balance. Moving to the far wall, I get into a stance, holding my hand waist-height arms up. Willow." I heard Heather but did not answer. I needed to see if my power was there. If they are, we could get out of there. Focusing, I could feel something stir within. It ran through my body as tingles began, and a slight breeze was felt against my face. I smiled as it felt it getting stronger, dropping my hands, making it stop. If I could do that, then I wonder if I could shift. Looking at my hands, I watched as my claws elongated and white fur sprouted on my hand. I was shocked to see that I could only get my hand to change and not my whole body. A surge of energy ran through me. "Hang on, little one, I'm coming," Lincoln's voice popped into my head. I jumped a little, not expecting to hear him or anyone. "Lincoln." I called his name, but nothing. He did not say anything. Moving closer to Heather, "We need to get out of here now." "How, Willow?" I am all for it, but I am still not healed enough. I can't fight my way out with you, we don't need to. Whatever he gave me must have worn off. My powers are back, and I can shift. See, I hold my hand up, making it change again. We just need to come up with a plan. We heard someone coming and turning. A gentleman was standing at the door of my cell, his eyes looking over us. He sees Heather stepping away from my door. He moves to hers. He waves his hand, then a click, and he pushes the door open, walking and shutting it behind him. All right, he sets the little bag down on the cot, turning to look at Heather. Let's see what we are dealing with. He takes a step towards her. I wouldn't, she warns him. He stops. Look, I am not here to do anything but treat your wounds, so please do not give me a hard time. I would hate to have them come in here and restrain you. Well, Grandpa looks as if you will have to cause you are not touching me. I don't care who sent you or who you are. For someone who is supposedly hurt, you are a mouth little thing, he growled at her. Well, what do you expect me to just roll over for you? Yes, that would greatly help. Now, would you let me do my job? You know you two are not the only ones who can get hurt around here. 3 men show up before she can say anything to him. What seems to be the problem? The tall one asks. Nothing, everything is fine, the guy sputters. They move to open the cell door and step in. They all fill in the cell, making Heather's back press up against the bars. Do you need help with this one? I heard she can be quite the handful. The first gentleman who came in looked at Heather. I told you, was all he said before the 3 lunged at Heather, grabbing her and pinning her to the cot. Of course, Heather wasn't going to comply even though she was already beaten up. She wasn't going to lay down and take it. Her fighting them gave me an opening. Moving to my door, I grabbed the bars. Looking back over my shoulder, I know I am going to have to shift. Letting my Luccan come forward, I felt myself shift. Pulling the bars, the door flew off as I tossed it to the side, running straight into Heather's cell. The thought of hurting anyone, even killing them, was something I never wanted to do, but at this moment, those thoughts were not in my mind as I charged at them. Using my power, I threw 2 of them to the wall. The other turned just as I ran my claws across his stomach. I couldn't link her. She still was feeling the effect of whatever they gave us. Grabbing her wrist, I started to drag her, stopping to look at the man who first came into her cell. He was pressed against the wall. He held his hands up, hearing a groan as one of them started to move. I did not bother to look back as we took off out of the cell, moving down the hall. I saw one guy at the door ahead. He saw us coming. I did not slow down. Focusing on him, I let a ball of energy fly at him, hitting him in the chest, throwing him through the door. Reaching outside, we stopped. Wolves and people were running all over the place. Growls and snarls could be heard off in the distance. Something told me to go towards it. Heather stumbled as we started to move. I grunt at her as I nod, kneeling. I am not super big, but I'm strong enough to carry her on my back, just like Lincoln and River did that day. She jumped on when she realized what I was telling her. Taking off, I moved toward what sounded like fighting, and I felt something pulling me. Something told me it was the right way, that I needed to be there. Lincoln. Reaching the border of the rogue territory, we shifted back. Scouting out the area, there was no patrol, no guards. We are on the south side of the town, Tyler says, as he steps closer but not crossing over. There are mainly houses on this side. In the small town, there are some shops and bars. There's not a lot, mostly empty buildings. A noise made us spin around. Ryland stepped out, followed by some of our warriors and Daniels. Ryland. Dad calls his name. He stood in front of us. You didn't think I would let you guys run off and have all the fun, did you? He shook Dad's hand, then mine. I saw Daniels standing there looking out over the territory. Daniels. I step next to him. He glances over. I know you are going to tell me I didn't need to come, but you are wrong, sir. For many years, I have watched that girl suffer at the hands of others, and I was not able to do anything about it, but now, I can, so I am staying. I knew Daniels carried a lot of guilt about things that happened, but he took the chance and did something about it. I can see he cares for Willow. He did a hard thing most wouldn't when he went against his alpha. I was going to thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You are a good man, Daniels, and a good pack member. You have looked out for her to the best of your ability. You have nothing to be guilty of. He looked at me, giving me a nod. Lincoln, we need to pinpoint where they are, Elder Lance says as he comes up next to me. I didn't see anything that would indicate where. He smiled as he turned, stepping in front of me. You don't need to. Your bond with her will lead your Leakin. Hers will call out to him. He will sort her out, and she will not even realize she is doing her Leakin will naturally call to yours. Isn't that with all mates? Daniels asks. Yes, but with them, it is different, because she is a white Leakin. Daniels says, making Lance look at him. Yes, I know, I have been training with her. Lance nodded. Yes, but it's a power she possesses, and don't know it yet. Her Leakin will call her mate. They share a strong bond, and anyone can see it. I saw it the first day I arrived. Okay, so what should I do? His eyes moved from Daniels to me. Let your beast lead you. Do not try and fight him. Just allow him to follow his instincts, and he will go straight to her. A hand on my shoulder made me look. I saw Dad standing there. We will follow you and keep any wolves away from you. Nodding, I looked back forward across the thick woods. Letting my beast come forward, I gave him complete control. With a grunt, he took off. I pulled back, watching from the back of his mind as he ran through the woods. He stopped a few times, sniffing the air, looking in different directions, but then taking off. A flash of Willow would play across our mind, and he would shift his direction. I could almost feel her presence the more we ran. The rotting smell was more potent in this area. I saw the roof of a house ahead, and as we trudged through the bushes, when the scent became so intense, we came to a halt, scanning the woods. A group of wolves jumped in front of us. Some were behind, letting out a growl as we took our stances. We were ready for a fight. We knew we wouldn't get in and out without one. A man appeared, standing back a ways from the wolves before us. I recognized his face instantly. He's the one in the images I saw. He was in the cell with her. Rage ripped through me when it hit me. This is the Rogue King, as he calls himself, but he was no one, just a rogue who thought her had power. Well, little did he know he would die today. He stood there, arms crossed with a smirk on his face, Stay alert. I am going to shift so I can talk to him, I linked everyone. I heard them all grunt in response. Shifting back, I mimicked him, crossing my arms. Well, I must say, I am honored to have such highly ranked people in my presence, but then I remembered who is in my presence. His disrespect does not bother me. I know he is talking out of his ass, trying to get a reaction out of me. I will give you one chance to hand over my mate and my sister. He blinks as he looks around, smiling. He scratches his chin. Your mate and sister. He acts like he's thinking, I have a lovely lady that I do believe may be possible to be your mate. He stands, putting his finger to his lips. As for your sister, I was unaware you had any siblings, but I do have a feisty little teenager we picked up along the way. A growl came from behind me as River went to take a step. No, River, it's what he wants. Stand down, I call to him through the link. I hear a chuckle as I turn back around. Looking straight at him, the look on his face was that of amusement. I am not here to give you my family tree, but if you don't give me my mate and sister back, I have no problem ripping your throat out myself. He threw his head back, laughing, clapping his hands together. When he settled down, and what makes you think I am scared of you? His eyes glowing red. I don't care if you are. I came for my mate, and I will be leaving with her and my sister as well, so if it is a fight you are after, then you will get it. His smile widened as he clasped his hands together, letting them fall in front of him. How about I make you a deal? How about we do a trade? I raised a brow. Trade? I asked. Yes, a trade. You see, I have something else you want, and seeing as I have no use for it, I am willing to hand it over to you, but in return, you have to give me something. Squinting my eyes at him, what could you possibly have that I want? He held his hand out to the side. Let me go, you son of a bitch. Two large men came walking over, dragging a very pissed off Holly. They threw him to the ground. Letting out a growl at the sight of her, she lifted her eyes slowly, fear shone in them. Pushing herself up, she got to her feet as her body shook. Now, I am willing to give you this nice little gift, seeing as you have been hunting for her, but I want something in return. Moving my eyes off Holly to the man who stood there all smug. What is it you want? I gritted out, trying to keep my control. Well, that will have to wait until you decide. You must agree to take her, then I will tell you my demands. Letting out a brutal laugh. Do you think I am an idiot? I would never agree to that. I don't care about this person. Let her run. I will find her again. His face turned red at hearing my words, his eye looking over at Holly. Well, if she is of no use to me. He waved his hand. No. Holly screamed as the one guy grabbed her from behind, snapping her neck. Her lifeless body fell to the ground. Well, I guess on to the plan B. He smirks at me. A surge of energy washed over me. I know that energy, I have felt it before. I felt it the day when Willow needed help calming down. My beast clawed under my skin. I was done listening to this guy. No more. I want my mate, and I am going to get her even if I have to go through this delusional man standing here. Without another thought, I let my Lycan surge forward, giving him free rein. As I pulled back, he wanted blood, and he would get his fill. Willow. I can hear the sounds as we get closer. Looking through the trees, I see they are thick, but I can see movement. There was a thicker bush ahead of us, blocking my sight. Moving to the right, I came around, stopping as my eyes landed on what was happening right in front of us. "Oh my God," Heather whispered, then a tiny groan as she started to slide off my back. She still was healing, just slowly. I'm not able to link her yet. She was rather pale looking, and I was beginning to worry as it seemed her body wasn't fighting off whatever he had given us. Setting her down, her legs gave out, helping her to sit by the tree. I grunted, nodding, trying to tell her to slide back. I didn't want her out in the open. Glancing back, she gave me a nod, scooting back till the tree and thicker bush hid her, turning, taking in what was all happening. Wolves and lichens were fighting. I looked at the lichens. A few I recognized, but a few I did not. I knew who Lincoln was, and his father, and I also spotted River and Tyler. The others I was so sure of, but then I saw it, a white blur as it ripped through the wolves. There in front of me fighting was a white lichen. It was twice my size, close to the same size as Lincoln. It quickly took out 4 wolves as if it were nothing. More wolves came in from the side, breaking into groups as they attacked. They were cut down quickly, but as they fell, more came charging in. My eyes spotted a man standing towards the back. Focusing on him, I noticed it was the man from the cells. He was standing back as the fight was happening. Others were fighting his fight as he stood back and watched, but then I followed his line of sight. He was watching Lincoln, his hands raised up as his lips began to move. Was he chanting something? His eyes began to glow red. Just then, Lincoln let out a howl of pain as he gripped his head, falling to his knees. My legs began to move before I knew what I was doing. I ran straight into the middle of the fight. I needed to reach Lincoln. I could feel that energy building in me as I watched Lincoln thrash his head. The sounds he was making told everyone he was in pain. Reaching him, kneeling as I touched his back, he threw himself on the ground, rolling back and forth. Blood was starting to drip from his nose. Rage filled me as I grabbed Lincoln, bring him close to me. I could feel the wind swirling as I stared at that man. He just smirked back at me. He thinks he is winning. Oh no, I guess he hasn't learned who he is dealing with. I knew what I had to do. I had to let go and trust my Lincoln. This is something I haven't been able to do as I feel I am going to hurt everyone, but this man was hurting my mate, my Lincoln, and I know my Lincoln was happy about it. Thinking back to my training with Daniels and Tyler, I let that same emotion run through me as my body felt as if I had electricity running through me. Let go, Willow, I told myself, feeling my Lincoln as she took control. Trust ourselves, pulling back as she took over. The fear that came to that man's face when he saw what was happening, I heard whimpers and yelps. I know I was standing now. I felt myself walking, but I couldn't see what was happening. I was unsure how long it lasted, but my body suddenly felt drained. My vision started clearing up, and I fell to my knees. I was breathing hard. My whole body ached, my legs gave out, falling to my knees. It was then I noticed I had shifted back. I was not in Lucan form anymore, Willow. My head snapped up when I heard my name. Looking around, I saw him running towards me. Coming to his knees in front of me, he cupped my cheeks. Willow, he said breathlessly. My hand instantly covered his as he held my face. Lincoln, moving my hands to his shoulder, then his chest down his arms. I could see dried blood on his top lip and around his nose. Reaching up, I wiped at it, making him smile. I was worried. He placed kisses on my forehead and cheeks, then on my lips. "Here, Lincoln," I heard his father's voice. Looking up, I saw him handing Lincoln some clothes. We found them hidden around the trees. Lincoln pulled a shirt over my head as I slipped my arms in it. He stood sliding on a pair of shorts, then reaching down and scooping me up. Laying my head against his shoulder, I felt even more drained than a few minutes ago. My eyes drooped. I tried to keep them open, fighting to stay awake, nuzzling in his neck, his touch, his scent. My body was exhausted from everything that happened. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't fight it anymore as my eyes closed. I was in the arms of my mate. I was safe and did not need to worry anymore. Lincoln. When Willow passed out when I picked her up, I was relieved she would not see what happened. I know if she did, she would feel guilty. I took her straight back to the clinic. The doctor checked her over. He took some blood when Heather told us that they had been drugged. He said that Willow's system was clear of any drugs, but Heather had a small amount in her yet. He gave her some medication and fluids to help flush her system out. Willow hasn't woken up yet. The doctor assured me she was sleeping as her body needed the rest and that she would wake when she was ready. River has not left Heather's side for a minute. When she crawled out from behind that tree calling for River, but as soon as she was in his arms, he broke. Mia has been with her as well. She came to check on Willow. She takes turns sitting with each. Heather has healed up well. She has a few marks yet. The doctor wants to keep her for a few more days till the drug is fully out of her. Mom was here as well. She was waiting for us when we got back. I don't want to leave Willow's side for a moment. I refuse to let her out of my sight. Her uncle and they have all stopped in. They had to return to their pack, so I told them as soon as she woke, I would call them. With everything happening, Luca's execution was pushed back, and River is the one to carry it out, but it will have to wait till the girls are out of the hospital. Cole's sentencing was being given to him today. He has pleaded guilty to everything. He didn't want a trial. He just wanted his punishment. Anyone could see he had given up. He knew all his crimes, and he knew he was wrong. He wasn't looking to get out of anything. There was a light knock on the door as it opened. Elder Lance's head popped in. "Hey, how is she doing?" he asked as he stepped into the room, coming to stand at the foot of her bed. "She is the same, but the doctor said she may wake at any minute." I looked back down at her sleeping. "How did it go with Cole?" I asked him as I glanced back at him. "Good. If all prisoners were as compliant as him, it would make this job a lot easier." Nodding my head. "Have you been back out there?" he asked me. "He don't have to say where, I already know." Shaking my head, I said, "No, I haven't left her. But I did send out a group to clean everything up." "Do you plan to tell her when she wakes up?" Letting out a sigh, I rubbed my eyes. This is something I have asked myself for the last 2 days. I know she will feel guilty about what happened, but she is not to blame. From what Dad told me, she was defending and protecting me. I don't remember much. Once that pain started ripping through my head, I felt as if my head was in a vice. Well, think about it. I am sure she will want the truth. Don't hid it from her. Believe me when I say it makes it harder." He turned and walked out, shutting the door, lifting her hand and placing a soft kiss on the top. I let my thumb run over her knuckles, as I held it to my forehead, shutting my eyes. "Please wake up, little one." Tyler. "I have been pacing the hall for the last 2 days. I want to go in and see her, but I get to the door. My hand reaches out to turn the knob, and I freeze. My thoughts start to run all over again. Would she want to see me? Would she be happy? That day in the office, I told her she was my mate. I whispered it to her. I know I shouldn't have. We should always wait until each party feels the mate bond, but I have known her for a while, and she can't feel the bond until she is 18. Lycans and ranked ones can sometimes feel it much sooner. So, as soon as her birthday hits, she will feel it. What have I had for the last few months? I was hoping she would feel it sooner with her being of beta blood, but that would be too young. We already have an age gap. Seeing as I am 22, that's a 5-year gap. Heather is my second chance, mate. My first mate rejected me. I guess the thought of being mated to a warrior wasn't part of her plans. She left the pack a year after she rejected me, and she never looked back. I even tried to keep tabs on her. Once she spoke those words, I was done with her. I wasn't waiting around for her to change her mind. I had planned on moving up from warrior to royal guard, and I wasn't about to let her break my plans. When I learned Heather was my mate, it was right before she left to go to her grandparents' place for a while. She has done that for the last few years. That is the only place River lets her go. She did travel once for a school function, but other than that, he keeps her close. It's been hard knowing who she is to me. At first, I was shocked. I didn't think I would get a second mate. I had accepted what happened with my first one, but when Heather's scent hit me that day, I knew I was done for. I never told anyone who she was to me. I have enjoyed our little battles back and forth. She is such a little spitfire. When we went to rescue them after the fight ended with Willow pretty much turning them all to ashes, when Heather came crawling out from behind that tree, I wanted to scoop her up and hold her tight against me and never let her go. Seeing River rushing to her as she cried, as soon as he wrapped his arms around her, I knew I had to stand back. Just seeing she was all right did put my beast at ease, even though he would rather be the one holding her. Now I can't bring myself to leave this damn hallway. River has told me I need to go in there and talk to her, but each time, I can only get to the door. I can smell her scent out here. My Lycan, I swear, purrs in my head each time we breathe it in. God, Tyler, stop being a wimp, I scold myself as I walk away from the door, leaning on the wall across from it, crossing my arms over my chest. The door opens as River steps out. He looks at me, raising a brow. Tyler, letting out a sigh, he comes over, leaning on the wall next to me. Why are you still out here? Keeping my eyes on the door like I would be able to see through it, I shrug my shoulders, not knowing the answer myself. You do know she knows you are out here, right? Snapping my head to look at him, he nodded his head while giving me a eaten grin. She has known since yesterday. Rubbing the back of my neck, I push off the wall and start to pace again. I don't know. I can't seem to bring myself to go in. Why? She is not going to eat you alive if you go in there. I didn't want to tell him, I was afraid she would reject me or not want anything to do with me like my first mate did. He don't know about it. No one does except for King Winston, but I know River he won't let up. Scrubbing my hand down my face as I stop, I keep looking down. Heather is my second chance, mate, I say. I don't look at him. I do not know why I was worried to tell him. I didn't want him to think his sister wouldn't come first. When he don't say anything, I glance over at him. His eyes lock on me. I'm not afraid of River even though he is the royal beta, but he is Heather's brother, and what he thinks of me is essential, seeing as she is my mate, your first mate. Did you reject her? I can hear it in his voice, shaking my head. No, she did as soon as she found out I was her mate. I was already a warrior, and she wanted something more than that. His head bobbed. Heather isn't 18 yet. You are 22. That's a gap in age, I know, but I would not do anything. She isn't ready for River. I knew she was my mate and hadn't done anything for months. I know she is young. I was surprised myself when I learned she was my mate. I will wait for however long I need to. I moved to lean against the wall again, shutting my eyes. Well, I do understand having to wait for your mate to come of age, but Tyler, if you ever hurt my sister or the thought of rejecting her runs through that big head of yours, it will be the last thought that ever goes through your head. Looking over, his eyes were black, his Lecan making himself known. Dropping my eye, submitting to him, I may be a royal guard, but he is the royal beta. He outranks me, yes, sir, I understand. His hand slapped my shoulder. Good. Now man up, you pansy, and get in there before she comes out here. Believe me, you don't want that, he chuckles, walking away. You just gone leave me hanging. I call out to him. I could hear him laughing. What are you afraid of, my little sister? He turned, walking backward down the hall. You do know who that is, right? Oh, big bad Tyler is afraid of a little girl. Now isn't that some shit? I call back to him. He laughs harder as he spins around, then turns down the other hall. I know where he is going. Mia was heading there earlier, and Willow's room is just down that hall, so that leaves me to go in here alone. I feel a bead of sweat build on my forehead. Swallowing, I reach for the knob. Turning it, I give a light knock, pushing the door slightly open. Heather. I call her name. She was sitting in the bed, her eyes already locked on me, when my head popped in. Her arms crossed over her chest. Oh yeah, I am in for it, pushing the door open. Mind if I come in? I stepped in but kept a hold of the door in case she told me to get out. She waves her hand but does not say anything. I could feel my heart pounding. This girl here was the cause of it. I felt so nervous. Come on, Tyler, for God's sake, you are a royal guard. You go into battles, you are a killing machine, and right now, you are about to chicken out from a girl just because she is glaring at you. Moving to her bed, I stood there off to the side. I cleared my throat. How have you been? I wanted to slap myself. That's what I came up with. She scoffs at my words. We just stared at each other, and an awkward silence fell over us. Well. She clasped my hands together, laying them on her lap. Since you seem to have forgotten how to speak, I do have something to say to you. Great, here it comes. I knew she would tell me she wanted nothing to do with me. This is why I didn't want to come in here. Where the hell have you been? My eye snapping up. I have been laying in this damn room for 2 days. 2 freaking days, Tyler. She flips up 2 fingers, and you didn't even come to see me till now. Like what the hell, am I not your mate? Did you not tell me that? And now you go all missing in action on me. Willow. I licked my lips as my eyelids slowly opened. Rolling my head to the side, Lincoln's was sitting in the chair, but he was asleep, his hand on mine as his head tipped back. Small light snores were coming from him. Looking around the room, the lights were turned down low. On the far wall, there was a small couch. Someone was lying on it, asleep as well. By the size of the body, I am going to say it was Hazel lying there. Feeling Lincoln's hand twitch, I glanced back at him. I couldn't help the smile that broke out. He had shifted, but his head was now tipped to the side, making him snore just a little louder. Holding in my chuckle, I reached over with the other hand he wasn't holding, grabbing his, giving him a slight squeeze. He stirred a bit but didn't wake up. Doing it again, Lincoln, I called his name softly. I didn't want to wake the other person sleeping, but again, he shifted and continued to snore away. The door creaked open, making me look over. A nurse came in, closing the door so quietly. She turned her head and looked at the couch as she moved closer to the bed. You could tell she was trying to be so quiet as not to wake them, but when she looked up and saw I was awake and looking at her, she let out a squeal as she clutched the clipboard to her chest. Lincoln shot up out of the chair, eyes black claw elongated. This caused the poor young nurse to let out a squeal yet again. Lincoln was looking around for the danger. He didn't notice I was awake. I did not make any noise or call him. I figured I would let him settle them, and I would say something. The nurse was frozen as she stared at Lincoln. Hazel appeared at the foot of my bed. SHH, Lincoln, you are going to... She stopped when her eyes locked with mine. Oh my, you are awake. She came rushing around the bed, engulfing me in a hug. She was squeezing me so hard. We were so worried about you. She pulled back, cupping my cheeks. It's so good to see your pretty eyes. She let go, moving back as my eye slid to look at him. He seemed stuck in place, as his eye just stared at me. His chest was rising and falling as if he had just run. He finally took a step towards the bed. When he was next to me, he looked down. His eyes ran all over my face as he looked at me. He seemed almost shell-shocked. Smiling at him, I reached out, picking up his hand. Lifting it, I placed it against my cheek. Sparks erupted on my skin. I felt him shudder. Willow, he whispered my name, letting his thumb rubbing back and forth on my cheek. He placed his other hand on my face, cupping both cheeks, wrapping my fingers around his wrist, leaning down, resting his forehead against mine. I heard him take a deep breath in. Little one, hi, I breathe out, his scent filling my nose. You are awake. I nodded my head a bit. Suddenly, he pulled back and started to pepper my whole face with kisses, making me giggle. Lincoln, stop! I laughed out as he continued. He finally placed a kiss on my lips. It wasn't a long, deep, curl your toe kiss. It was short and quick. I was so worried, he says as he pulls back. He palms my face, pulling me closer as his nose runs along my jaw. My heart warmed at his actions. I could feel his emotions as they poured from him, all his worry, his fear. I am right here, I tell him, running my hands up his forearms. Someone cleared their throat, breaking us out of our trance. Hazel stood there smiling at us. Then, we noticed the nurse standing there. She looked like she felt out of place. I am sorry, Prince Declan. I didn't mean to startle you. I just came to check her vitals. He nods at her but turns his attention back to me. She slowly steps closer. She looks at the machine next to me. I am sorry but I need to take your blood pressure. Of course, I hold out my arm, letting her wrap it around, then laying my arm down. I am sorry if I scared you when you came in, I tell her. She smiles at me. It's okay. I knew the prince and queen were asleep. I was trying to be quiet so as not to wake them, but I guess my squealing like a dying animal didn't help. Hazel and Lincoln laugh at her words, trying not to laugh when she said that, as she had already started to take my pressure. Your vitals look good. I will tell the doctor you're awake. I know Dr. Mark was the one who saw you, but I think Dr. April is the one on right now. Thank you. She nods as she walks to the door and goes out it. So, I say as Lincoln was looking at me again. I didn't understand why he was looking at me like that. He wasn't saying anything. I couldn't take it. Lincoln, why are you looking at me like that? His eyes widened a bit as I heard Hazel chuckle. What's wrong? I asked him, then glancing at Hazel, do you? He stopped, looking off to the side, then his eyes moved back to me. Do you remember what happened? Oh, I see. He was worried I didn't remember anything. I did, however, everything right down to the moment I saw Lincoln screaming in pain, nodding my head. I do. Right up till I saw you screaming and holding your head in pain. After that, I don't. So you remember getting taken then being held? Yes, Heather was there as well. How is she? I asked, looking over at Hazel. She fine. She went home yesterday, she said. I felt relieved to hear that she was okay. That's good to hear. Turning to look back at Lincoln, I could tell something was bothering him. Do you know who that guy was that took you? He sat on the edge of the bed, letting my mind drift back. I think he said he was the Rogue King or Alpha. His head bobbed. Yes, he's the one we have been planning to attack. Holly was hiding there with him. Flashback of her coming into the cell. She was there. I saw her. She came into the cell that I was in. He nodded again. Hollis dead. He killed her. Scrunching my brows together. Killed? But, I thought. I trailed off as I played it back in my head when she came in. The look on her face was a smug one, but the look on the man, he was pissed like he could have killed her right there. Now that I think of it, he didn't seem too happy about her coming into the cells. He dragged her out by her arm. He tried handing her over but thought I would settle for a trade. Her for you. He took my hand, rubbing circles on the top. I refused, so he killed her right there. I made an O shape. Looking at him, I could see how tired he looked now, with dark bags under his eyes. His hair is a mess like he has been running his fingers through it. There was a knock on the door, then it opened, and Dr. April came walking in. Ah, young Luna is awake. She always had a big smile. So, how are we feeling? Any pain or headaches? Feeling any nausea? Shaking my head, no. I feel good, maybe a little tired yet, but that's it. Good, good. Your vitals were all fine. We gave you some fluids earlier, but you didn't need only one bag. Your color looks great. I say you can be released, but I would take it easy for a few days. Your body may not be 100%, and you will most likely get tired still, so make sure you rest during the day. She looked between Lincoln and me. I can have your release papers done in a few minutes if you would like to leave tonight, but you can stay till morning if you wish. Squinting my brows, what time is it? Oh, sweetie, it's 3 am. I think we can wait till morning, Lincoln tells her, with a nod. All right, I will have them ready for you. Just stop at the front desk when you're on your way out. She gave a slight bow as she walked out the door. Dear, now that you are awake, I think I'll take my leave and go back to the main house. I'll let Winston know you woke up. She places a kiss on my forehead, giving Lincoln a look. Now I know something is wrong. Watching her walk out, I waited till the door shut. Spill, I said to him, crossing my arms over my chest. Sighing, he moved to sit in the chair. Leaning back, he rubbed his temple. You are sure you don't remember anything after the cells? Only up to you being in pain, pressing his thumb and finger to his eyes. Willow, I am not sure how to explain this or even where to begin. I was now starting to worry, but the sound of his voice and how he talked. What happened? Why was he acting like this? Did something happen? Willow, what I'm about to tell you. I want you to understand it was not your fault and that it was all to protect me and the others. It was self-defense. He paused for a minute as my stomach was turning, my heart pounding away in my chest. Willow, you killed the rogue Alpha along with all his men, oh God. Lincoln, she didn't say anything. She didn't even look up at me. She was looking at her hands as they lay on her lap, her fingers fidgeting with one another. I knew telling her was right, but I didn't want to tell her right away. I planned to do it when we got back to the house. She was back in our room, not within the first half hour after she woke up, but Elder Lance's words kept replaying in my head even after he left, and I knew she would bear herself up about it. Willow does not have a mean bone in her. She is one of the sweetest loving people I have met. With everything she has been through, she still looks for the good in people. When she loves with her whole heart. Little one, talk to me, please. She raised her eyes to meet mine. I could see the guilt in them. Moving to sit on the edge of the bed facing her, I took her hands in mine. Don't do that. Don't think you were in the wrong or that what you did was wrong, Willow. You saved us, me especially. That pain was unbearable. I would have done the same if I saw my mate in that much pain. Plus, you got Heather out of those cells and to safety. I don't know what all happened down there, but I am proud of you and how you got both of you out. Her eyes filled with tears. Slowly, they began to fall as her bottom lip trembled. Using my thumb, I wiped her cheeks, as a few small sobs left her. I can't say I know how you are feeling. I have been taught differently than you and haven't been through anything like you. To me, fighting and death are something we become used to, and after a while, I do not give a second thought. I just handle what needs to be done, whether a simple fight or a fight that claims lives. We do what we must to survive and protect the ones we love. Her fingers wrap around mine as she starts to forget about them. I know the most challenging part is knowing she took someone's life. She had even told me when Lucas took her the first time that when she fought her way out, she still couldn't kill him, even though he caused her great pain, she still could not end his life. She don't want to make that call whether someone lives or dies. I know they were not nice people and were wrong for what they had done. I guess what I am struggling with is I have experienced so much pain and hurt that I never wanted to be one to cause that to someone, and making that choice to let someone live or die is something I couldn't ever decide. Hearing I took people's lives, I don't want to be like the ones who want to cause others harm, and right now, I feel like I am just like them. My heart ached to hear her words. She was looking at herself like she was the same as the ones who hurt her, and she was the farthest thing from them. Cupping her cheeks, I tilted her head up so she was looking at me. You are not like them. You are never going to be like them. What you did was not to give yourself pleasure in seeing others hurt. You did it to save people and me, and I will always be grateful for that. You came to my aid when I needed you the most. Without hesitation you stepped up to help me and the others as well. You put all of us first, and that's why you will make a wonderful Luna and Queen, because you care for all of us and put everyone before yourself. She broke. Her tiny cries turned into long, hard sobs as her shoulders shook. Gathering her in my arms, I pulled her to me, holding her as she let it all out. "Shh, little one, it is all right," I cooed at her. Her face was buried in my neck, her arms wrapped around me as she clung tightly to me. I sat there holding her. I didn't care how long she needed, I would be right here for her. I was surprised when she pulled back, looking up at me, eyes red and her cheeks flushed, wiping her cheeks, pushing her hair away from her face. "You feel better?" Her head bobbed as she sniffled just a bit. "Thank you, Lincoln, anything for you, little one." Leaning forward, I kissed her nose, earning myself a small giggle. Scooping her up, she let out a slight squeal, wrapping her arms around my neck, lying on the bed, placing her on me. "Lincoln? What are you doing?" Lying with my mate, I pulled her against me, laying my head back and shutting my eyes. "Lincoln, what if someone comes in?" Peeking at her, I could see she was blushing. Shrugging my shoulders, I say, "Let them. All we are doing is sleeping unless you have something else in mind." I wiggle my brows. She slapped my arm. "Lincoln," she let out a laugh but tried to look away. "Oh, is my little mate shy?" I chimed at her, running my nose along her jaw. A shiver ran through her body. "Would you behave?" She turns her head to face me. "And I am not shy, but you do know you would be sharing me with others in the clinic because they would hear us. They could think something is wrong and come busting in here." She had amusement all over her face. She knew she had me, and she knew I would never share any of her with others. Even though I will say she is a quiet one, I wasn't willing to test that right now, and she knew that. Letting out a growl, pulling her body tight against mine, sticking my nose in her hair, mine, giggling, she nuzzles into my chest. "Yes, Lincoln, yours, I will always be yours." I felt my beast calm at her words. Getting comfortable, I held my mate in my arms as exhaustion set in. It wasn't long, and Willow was out cold, but this time, it was on her own accord and she was sleeping in my embrace, her head on my chest as her one arm draped across me. I let my eyes close, knowing it was safe now. She was safe and right here with me. I knew that once we reached the house, she would be bombarded. Everyone had been asking about her. Mia had come, and so had River, but Heather wasn't able to. Wait till she hears about Tyler and Heather. I am sure she will be happy for both. I find it funny how big old Tyler becomes a softie when it comes to Heather. Maybe now we can have some peace, with a smile, my mate in my arms, I let sleep wash over me. Join our Facebook and WhatsApp group for more updates, link is given in description. Rest audiobook will be continued in next episode.